All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll be starting in a minute. Let's just give people about a minute more to join. In the meantime, we're curious. Could you tell us when was the last time, or the last time that you had a conversation that you wish you had been able to capture but weren't able to? Where did that conversation happen? Was it in like a hallway chat? Was it in a platform that's not like your typical meeting platform? Drop that in the chat while we wait. We'll do like 30 more seconds, I think, and we'll get started. Slack huddles, yes. No, Office huddle, yeah. Yep. Face to face, definitely. I think there's a lot more collaboration that happens face to face, that it's unscheduled than we think. Virtual Teams meeting, alrighty. Cool. Yeah. On the phone. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sam. And today we're going to talk about how to capture those types of meetings, the meetings that don't fit into your normal calendar and video conference call. I am joined by my colleague Anna Fang. She's one of those people that knows the Read experience inside and out. And she also knows really well, she has a really good pulse on how customers use it in the real world. Anna will walk us through one of the ways that you can capture meetings, and she will also be keeping an eye on the chat. So please add your questions as they come up, and she'll try to monitor that. She'll answer them in real time when possible. And if there are any that seem relevant to the whole group, we'll also revisit at the end for Q&A. So most of us know the standard experience, right? You have like a Zoom, a Teams, or a Google Meet call. It's on the calendar, Read joins, it records it, and then you have a searchable record. However, as we have seen, important conversations can happen in all sorts of places. So for those, a Slack huddle, a conversation in the hallway, sometimes you might end up like, oh, it was just like a quick chat, but we ended up making like a decision about something. So our goal today with this webinar is to show you how to capture those conversations as well with a number of tools that we have available for you. So let's dive right in. First of all, let's touch on why capture all my meetings? Like, why would that be something that I'm interested in? Essentially, because having a record of all these types of conversations, business conversations, matters because every meeting that you have adds to your organization's knowledge base. And when you have decisions, context, commitments consistently recorded, then you preserve that institutional knowledge. You maintain a reliable history, you make important information also searchable long after the conversation is gone or ended, rather. So, with that goal of having like my organizational knowledge base complete, Read gives you like three options that you can use to capture your conversations wherever they are happening. The first is a web app. That's the one that we're all familiar with. Um, the second one is the desktop app. That one is very good when you have audio coming through your computer, but not necessarily from a platform that is supported like Microsoft, Google, and Teams. And the mobile app. The mobile app is good for conversations that are happening around you where a computer might not even be involved. So I'm going to hand it over to Anna to walk us through the first one just very quickly, since that's, I think, the one that we're more familiar with, our web-based experience.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So I will start by just covering the basics on specifically looking at how to have Read automatically join your meetings using a calendar connection. So when you have your calendar connected, which can be done via the integrations page over here, Read can automatically join supported Google Meet, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams meetings as a visible participant. And we also support a botless native recording experience for Google Meet today with Zoom coming soon. So for most meetings, this is a recommended way to capture conversations because it's fully automated and provides the richest meeting context. So when Reed joins scheduled meetings on your behalf, you can control which meetings you want it to join, which can be done from the account settings page over here under meeting recording. So this is where you can configure specifically what types of meetings you want Reed to auto join on your behalf. And when Reed joins a meeting, participants are clearly notified. So, depending on the platform you choose, Reed will either post a message in the meeting chat or display a recording notification. And the Reed participant frame will be visible during the meeting. Sam will cover more about recording consent and notifications in more detail later in the session. But as a general rule, if your meetings are hosted on like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet and is already scheduled on your calendar, we would recommend the calendar auto join experience as the best option to have those calls recorded. And then as an example, um, so this is a report generated from a meeting that we joined through a connected calendar. And as you can see, the report includes a full transcript, and we're able to include more accurate speaker attribution, so the participant names and identification. And for Enterprise and Enterprise Plus users, it also enables a video playback. So you can watch the whole video, and you can also watch, like, if someone screen shared their screen during the presentation or something, you can always refer back to that through video playback. That said, our desktop and mobile apps aren't replacements for this experience. They fill gaps when our recording agent can't be there. So, what happens when the meeting is virtual, but it isn't happening somewhere we can join? That's where the desktop app comes in.
Yep. So I'm going to share my screen here to show you our desktop app. It's available for Windows as well as iOS. This is my report page in my desktop app. Um, like we mentioned earlier, desktop app is for conversations where audio is happening on your computer. You can capture audio both for your microphone as well as what you're hearing from other participants. This means that you can use it to capture any conversation happening on platforms like WebEx, Slack, Huddles, that's a big one, Discord, GoToMeeting, and other type of like browser or desktop-based calling tools. Now, because desktop is recording locally, you do need to remember to start it and stop it manually. This is not one where like, oh, it'll just join automatically. So you do need to like click record when you're ready for it. So let's say, for instance, that right now I'm ready to record a Slack huddle. As you can see, I recorded one earlier here. I'm not gonna actually start this Slack huddle just because I don't want to have too many windows going on. But all you would do is you would just say, okay, I'm gonna record this call. So click the record button. Um, you'll get this notification. You're recording this meeting. We're privacy first. So make sure that everyone knows that you're recording. So I would say something like, hey, Anna, you're in this huddle with me. If it's okay with you, I'm just going to record this conversation with Reed so that I have that information ready later on in case I need to reference anything. And then just have your conversation. It's capturing the audio that we're generating right now. You get the live transcript as well. When you're ready and you're done with the conversation, we're like, okay, cool, we aligned. This is great. We have a plan. Let's do those next steps. And like we meet again in a couple of days. I don't know, whatever. Um, I'm ready to stop this. So I'm just gonna pause, stop. And in here, well, you can see like Ask Reed popped up immediately to like give you some suggestions as what you can do with that content and with that report. And you also see this kind of progress bar that shows you, okay, right now we recorded and uploaded, it's saved. Now we're creating your report. When the report is ready, you'll get the notification that says, hey, your report is ready for viewing and whatnot, and you can then access it. I don't know if it will generate one for this just because it was a very short conversation, so I don't know that there will be enough content even, but I can show you a previous one. We could do like this one, for example, when we were chatting about the webinar. Very similar to what you would see in the web app. You have your recap, your action items. You can see the transcript. If you're an enterprise plan, then you can see the video as well. And you have all your like sharing controls and whatnot. You can also download things. Um, and if you need to do like more like thorough things, you can also just go to the browser directly to our web app from here. Um, some trade-offs about desktop that I want you to keep in mind. Because it's local recording, we're going to have less participant level context than a meeting that Reed joins directly. So the metrics that you see in your report that is like engagement and talk time, talking pace, things like that will not appear here to that same level of detail. Um, and again, it is manual. So you have to start it, you have to stop it by yourself. When you set it up first, make sure the correct like microphone and input are selected. Now, sometimes there is no laptop involved. Like maybe there's not a computer, there's not a meeting platform involved at all. So say if everyone is sitting together in a physical room and the audio isn't coming through a computer, or like some of the examples that you gave, maybe you're out in the field, maybe you're just having a conversation over lunch or something. That's when mobile comes in. Now in here, please bear with me because this is one of the very few times that I've done this. So I'm gonna try and share my screen, um, my phone screen. One second. Okay, that is not, yeah, that's not showing it well. Let me open it again. Hopefully you can see context there. There we go. Showing my phone. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Um, so the mobile app, like I mentioned, is for conversations happening in the physical world. Your phone's microphone is used to capture the people that are speaking around you. This is super helpful for like planned in-person meetings or unscheduled conversations that just kind of happen in the spare of the moment, but then end up becoming important. If you're someone who works out in the field, for example, if you're visiting, like you're maybe an architect and you're visiting like a client's location to kind of see the area, this is super helpful to capture all the details that you need to like keep in mind for moving forward with the project. So let's pretend I'm going to demonstrate that, pretending that like a colleague maybe stopped by my desk and we're discussing a launch date. So first, I'm going to say click record. And here's a recording consent required again. So we're going to let them know that I'm recording with Reed. Same thing as before, something simple like, hey, I'm going to be recording this conversation with my phone if that's okay with you, so that I can have like a full record of this information, anything that we discuss. Once you got that consent, you click record. And now the phone is capturing that conversation. So you walk around the side, you're visiting the place, or in my case, maybe we're just like hanging out at our desks, but we're like discussing like, hey, what do you think about this launch day? We could move it. We have marketing ready, but we don't have like a blog post yet. I don't know. Um, you discuss it, you make decisions, you get like key information captured. When you're done, then you just click the stop recording button down here. You can name it. So let's say this was just a launch plan sync, for example. Click upload, and you can see, similar to mobile, that now that conversation is being uploaded so that the report is then generated. And you can also access it from the phone. Let me show you the same report from before about, where was it? I feel like I have the one from Anna and me, recent. Anyway, I'm just gonna go anywhere. Let's do this one. This one is with Mike, another colleague of mine. Similar to the desktop, same. You can see your notes, you can see your action items, you can see the transcript if you need it, video if you're an enterprise. Share the reports, controls in here are, of course, a little bit more limited. You have less screen space. Or you could go directly to the web app to see the full report. Um, so mobile, some caveats here. It is not right for recording a phone call, a FaceTime conversation, or a virtual meeting that's running on the same phone. That's because those apps are already using the phone's microphone. So Reed will not be able to independently capture that call at the same time. But if it's a conversation that's happening with people around you, like we mentioned, then this is perfect for that use case. Um, Similar to desktop, it will capture audio, um, no video. So same caveat as before, that like participant level information about sentiment, engagement, speaker identification is not going to be as robust as when Reed can join the meeting. Um, Audio quality is something else to keep in mind. It does depend on placement. Make sure to put the phone in the center of the group. and avoid covering the microphone or, like having things kind of in the way. Um, and like desktop as well, it is manual. You do have to start it yourself and stop it yourself. Any questions so far? We can take a quick pause right now to kind of before we move forward. Okay, it looks like Anna's covering them all in the chat, so let's just move forward. Want to touch real quick on consent and responsible recording. So Read was built with privacy like top of mind. Um, and that applies to every capture method. We do want you to make sure, as our user, to let people know that they're being recorded and obtain their consent that's required in your location or your organization. When it's a calendar connected experience like the web app that Anna demonstrated, like you can see, there's always some sort of like icon that says a Read is recording. There's a logo or there's a message in the chat that says so and so added Read AI to your meeting. With desktop and mobile, there may not be an obvious, well, there won't be an obvious bot in there. So that's when it's especially important for the person recording or capturing that conversation to disclose it early on and disclose it clearly. It doesn't have to be something like, oh, I'm gonna, record what we're saying and whatnot. Just be upfront and be clear about I'm capturing this because it is a record that I want to be able to have for my institutional knowledge or to refer to later when I'm generating a proposal, things like that. It's transparent, it makes it clear why you're doing it and that there's, a value to it other than just I want to record you. A simple way of introducing that would be, hey, before we begin, I'm going to use Read AI to record and generate notes from this conversation. Is everyone comfortable with that? And if someone isn't comfortable, then you just don't record them. Um, it's important to point out here that recording laws do vary. So just follow the requirements that apply to your organization and to your location. Um, okay, we're going to move forward with some like rapid fire scenarios that Anna has for you. And in here, we want to make it dynamic. So we'll need your participation. Anna will read you the scenario, and I would like you to drop in the chat which of the three methods that we covered you would use to capture that conversation.
Okay. First scenario, a scheduled customer call hosted on Zoom. Which experience would you choose?
Let's give it like 5 seconds. Yeah, computer app, automatic capture.
Okay.
Exactly. Nice.
Yes, that was easy. Okay. Scenario two, a customer sends you a WebEx link.
Okay, so WebEx. Read does not integrate with WebEx. So what would you use?
Okay.
Manual recording desktop. There you go. Spot
Right.
on. Desktop app. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Number three, four colleagues are brainstorming around a whiteboard. So in person.
The phone app. Yeah. Mobile.
Oh, spot on.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. An unscheduled Slack huddle turns into a launch planning.
The phone app. Yeah. Or the desktop. Yeah.
Honestly,
If you're
either
like,
or. Either
yeah,
or.
because if you're at work and they're just kind of visiting you, you could just as easily fire up your computer.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would I would probably lean mobile for that one too.
Mm-hmm. Just
Well,
for
no,
the
sorry, Slack Huddle desktop for that one. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Okay. Scenario five. You join a Google Meet from your phone. This is a bit tricky.
So it's a Google Meet, which is one of the supported platforms that we have.
Okay.
Can still use the web app, but I don't usually use my phone. Fair enough.
So the answer is calendar connected experience
Yeah,
because you will
your
still be
web
able to
app.
join that Google Meet meeting even if you join through your phone.
Yeah. Since it's a platform that we do integrate with, and Reed can just as easily join the meeting directly, so that would be the web app.
Yeah. Okay. Last scenario. You're interviewing a customer at their office. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Spot on.
Everything's
Perfect.
correct.
You guys got this. Excellent.
Nice.
Um, all right. So let's recap. If you remember only like three things from this conversation, remember this. If Reed can join the scheduled video meeting, use the web app. If the audio is coming through your computer, use the desktop. And if the conversation is happening around you, use your mobile. We would encourage you to, before this week is over, download either the desktop app or the mobile or both, install it, sign in, log in, and test one. Just test one before this week is over, so that you're ready to use them when you do need to capture an important conversation. Um, and just again, a friendly reminder, whenever you are using one of those two, do establish a clear consent practice with the people that you're working with and meeting with. All right, so time for questions. Throw them in the chat. We'll answer them right now. What is the storage size? Thais, do you mean like how long it can record? Is that what you are asking us? Like if you could clarify, um, oh, how many conversations can you store? Okay, so that's a very good question. That depends on the plan that you are. If you're in the read free plan, we can record as many conversations as you want, but you only have access to 5 reports a month. If you're in one of the paid plans, either Pro or Enterprise Plus, which is more for like organizations, then that's unlimited. If you have 50 meetings in a month, if you have 100, 500 meetings in a month, we'll record them all and you'll have access to all. Can read be included after a meeting has started? Yes. You can definitely add it. Like if it's in the web app, for example, you can just add it manually. There's like an add link button in our portal. Or if you're using, say, like Teams or Zoom, there's like in-app. You can add it as an app and record it that way. Only thing is, of course, you won't have the content of of what was discussed before you added it. For hallway conversations or out in the field, our company currently uses Plod. Do you all think you will offer a kind of a device like that for mobile conversations? We have had requests like that before, and our product team is aware of that. I don't know whether or not that is something that we will pursue, um, but it is in our orbit. I will say that. Um, okay, Thais, yeah. So with Pro, you have unlimited conversations every month. I used to only use the web app. Now that I have unloaded desktop app, the last one is the default, and I have to manually start the recording. Am I doing something wrong? Nope, you are doing it exactly right. One clarification here. You're doing it right in that you have to manually start it. One clarification. When you say the last one is the default, does that mean that your web app is not joining automatically anymore? Interesting. So downloading the app should not affect the settings of your web app. So if
Mhm.
that is happening, I would log into your web app, to your user dashboard in the web app, and just revisit your settings. Make sure that you still have it enabled to join all your meetings. Maybe you like change something when you install the desktop app, but they should not interfere with each other.
Yeah, I would also recommend checking your read calendar page in the dashboard and just make sure that the add read toggle is on for like all your meetings or the meetings you want read to auto join.
Yeah. We use Read for our scheduled meetings. Rachel, what was the question there? For Hollywood Combo. Maybe it was part of the like asking if we would ever have like a recording device. Kelly, I have conversations already recorded and saved on my phone. Can I upload those into Read to produce a mini report? Excellent question.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. If you have a recording that you literally just capture, like from your phone recorder, not the app, but like just the phone, you can upload that recorder into Read. It would have to be an MP4 or MP4A, I believe, and under 5 gigas.
Mhm.
But you can then use upload credits, which you can buy if you're in the free plan, or you have a complimentary amount of upload credits already if you're in any of the paid plans. Upload your recording and we'll generate the report for you so that it's still part of that knowledge base. All right. Okay, yeah. So Rachel was like a follow-up from Plod. Excellent. Are there any other questions that we could address right now? Can manual recording capture Slack huddle screen? Not today. Right now, it's just audio capture, essentially. But we do see the value in that. So again, that's something that's definitely in our orbit, and our product team and our engineer team are aware of. But as of today, it's just audio. What's the best way to formulate the meeting report into a follow-up email? I love this question. I love this question because Sharita, you're already thinking like past the meeting, like after the meeting happens, how can I get value out of this? And I absolutely love that mindset. I would recommend leaning on Ask Read. And you can access Ask Read from your desktop, from your mobile, from your web app, any of them. Um, go into the report and then ask Read. Generate a follow-up email for this conversation. And you can specify, like, do it just with bullet points or do it just in paragraph form. Like, give it your instructions and it should be able to generate it for you. If you have any links that you want added and whatnot, same, just include that. And then it should be able to just generate the email for you. And if you have Read connected and if you gave it access to your email, then it should also be able to just like send it directly from there.
That's one of my favorite features, honestly.
Yeah. You can also always share the report itself. That's something that some companies find a lot of value in. For example, if you're a seller and you have a template that you want to share that information that you just captured with your prospect, then you can apply that template, make it as a share view, and then just share the report directly with the prospect that you had the conversation with. So that's another way if you want to just kind of share the entire thing as opposed to just an email. Are there any plans to make the transcription easier to identify who is speaking? Yes, if I am understanding your question, this is speaker diarization. So right now, when you capture a conversation, either on the phone or desktop, you should see the breakdown with like speaker one, speaker two, speaker three instead of names. I know that our engineering team and our data science team are working on a way that you could kind of like pair that with an actual participant name, so that it's not just a bunch of speakers, it's actually the people there, which is particularly helpful for action items. So we're actively looking into that. All right, cool. We are almost at time, so let's announce the winner of 1 year free of Read Enterprise. Let's see, drum roll, Anna Hassett.
Oh, okay.
All right, Angela Valoroso, congratulations. We will be getting in touch with you to set up that free subscription. Thank you everyone for joining us and stay tuned. We'll send our newsletter early next month. Recording will be there and registration for the next webinar will be there. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.